welcome back. Let's get back into our conversation, shall we?
Hello again.
Hello. So how's Livia doing?
Oh, it's sweet of you to ask. She recovered nicely. In fact, she's here somewhere, if you'd like to ask her yourself.
Nice. I'll do that. It's good to see you
See you
again.
at the wedding, I hope.
Nice. Hey, Dooley, as you stand inside of this.
There
Dooley.
she is.
Dooley, how you doing, buddy?
It's you.
Hello, I'm Dooley.
I remember who you are, Dooley.
Galerius said you're very nice and a big helper. Thank you for getting us out of the bad place. I didn't like it.
What are you doing with yourself these days?
I live at Galerius and Equitia's house. They look after me now and help me remember when I forget things, like brushing my teeth.
There you go. I'm sorry you never found your treasure.
Treasure? Oh, I forgot about that. I like my box now. Galerius got me a box that tells stories. It's my favourite thing.
I'm glad you're happy. It was good to see you again.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. So that box will keep him out of trouble, presumably.
Hi there.
Hey, you.
You're
Remember
here.
me?
It's nice to finally meet you.
Hey, look at you.
Lucy is fine. I'm
Lucretia.
making an effort to blend in, as you can see. We are all trying to keep a low profile.
From
If
who?
the world knew we died 2,000 years ago and were suddenly brought back to life 12 months ago, they'd never leave us alone. Speaking of which, I wanted
like-
to say thank you in person. I'd say the gods smile on you, but I hear you drove the last of them off. So,
It's like you guys are walking relics. What are you doing with yourself these
I'm
days?
studying to get into medical school. As much as I resented the responsibility of keeping everyone in the city alive, when it ended, I realized I missed it. So I guess I'll just keep saving the world, if begrudgingly, one patient at a time.
Good to see you.
Too. Don't be a stranger.
Hey, look at Yulia.
You're the Oracle, right?
Right. Aaliyah's fine.
Oh, of course, sorry. And I never got a chance to thank you for telling Galerius how to save my life. And of course, getting me and all of us out of a terrible situation.
What are you doing with yourself?
Oh, I barely recognize myself. I'm living in a
recognize
house
you.
share in London with my wonderful girlfriend.
Ooh.
And I'm studying English at university. Eventually, I want to travel the world and write about it. Turns out, it's about 30 times bigger than the Roman Empire ever was. Did you know there are entire continents Rome never knew existed? And you can travel almost anywhere in an aircraft, which is rather like flying on a Pegasus, but much more comfortable. Oh, sorry, you already know all that, of course. I'm just so excited. There's so much to see and learn and write about.
Seeing the world through fresh eyes sounds wonderful.
I have noticed people from your time have no idea how fortunate they are. I hope to change that. One day.
So whatever happened to Malleolus and Claudia?
Last I heard, Malleolus kept insisting he was the last rightful ruler of the Roman Empire and wound up being committed to a psychiatric hospital.
Good.
As for Claudia, she was always so viciously unhappy. Someone said she'd blown all her money on wine, trying to drink herself back to the underworld. After the horrific way they treated Ulpius and me, I can't help feeling a sense of... what's that German word? Schadenfreude?
I think you're allowed to feel that way.
Thank you. You're very kind.
So what happened to Aurelia?
Ugh. Someone told me she was boasting about
bartender.
getting her claws into some rich prince, and how she was going to be living the high life from now on. Even in your time, life still isn't fair. Apparently, he'd proposed before they'd even met, And last I heard, she'd bought herself a first-class one-way ticket to join him in some exotic place called... what was it? Nigeria?
Nigeria?
Some people have all the luck.
She fell for one of those scams. Those Nigerian scams for wives. Don't worry, something tells me she's going to get what she deserves. I see, as the Oracle, I foresee terrible disappointment in her future. Oh, don't worry, something tells me she's going to get what she deserves.
Well, you are the Oracle, so I suppose I'll take your word for it. Huh. I feel better already. Thank you.
It was good to see you again, Yulia.
If you're ever in London, let me know. We can go to bars and drink wine and listen to the stories of the 9 million people who live there.
I'll take you up on it.
I hope so.
Right. All right, we talked to those two. Who else we got here?
Hey.
Oh, you, Cynthia. Hey, Horatius. This is the guard. Seems like he's in the military now. These pieces were in the place. The shield was in one of those, what's it called?
Hi there, I'm Horatius.
I already know. Hi.
I understand we have you to thank for giving us a second chance at life, and reuniting Centilla with us as well. So, thank you.
What are you doing with yourself?
I'm living up north and studying in the military academy in Modena. I'm going to be an officer one day. The world's changed a lot, but some things stay the same. Would you believe we're still studying military tactics from my time? Alexander the Great, Caesar, Hannibal Barca. Still, I have to keep challenging myself to let go of old ways of thinking and embrace the new. As Seneca wrote, the ones who pioneered our paths aren't our masters, but our guides.
I'm sorry you never got to see your girl again.
Ah, you remembered that. Thank you. I grieved for a time, but that's done. In the words of Epictetus, as those who rode behind triumphant generals remind them they are mortal, remind yourself your precious one isn't one of your possessions, but something given for now, not forever.
Well said.
Thanks. Oh, and I don't know if you've heard, but a few of us are going for drinks later. It'd be nice to chat with you some more.
Sounds good.
Right.
Whatever happened to your buddy, Domitius?
He's not my... Oh, I see what you did there. Good one. He had more trouble adapting than most. He got himself disqualified from the UFC. So he
UFC.
started some kind of underground blood sport tournament, like we had in Rome. Suppose it appealed to people's baser instincts. And they say he made some good coin, killing a bunch of men like that. But his luck finally ran out, and his life along with it. You know what they say. Live by the sword, die by the sword.
Ah, he died going out fighting. Ah, that's a shame.
Perhaps.
It's good to see you again.
See you at drinks later, I hope.
And what about you, Cynthia? It's been a good while.
I take it you're the Oracle. Thanks for coming.
Good to see you again.
Actually, I changed my name to Cynthia. I didn't want to be associated with Sentius after what happened.
There you go.
I'm not sure if you heard, but after you drove Pluto off, Proserpina emerged from the Great Temple. She knew right away what none of us had figured out about that psychopath. He'd been keeping my little sister locked up in the upper cistern all that time.
She found out
but
finally.
He's been dealt with. He's... you know what? The important thing is we'll never see him again.
He's dead. So what are you doing with yourself?
Anything I want. I'm a woman of means in a vast new world. I can go wherever and do whatever I please. Of course, I mostly just stay in my villa and have my servant Alexa summon things for me.
Alexa.
It's just awful out there. Barbarians everywhere.
Alexa, could she be talking about the Amazon thing? What happened to Cynthius?
He's still there, all alone. the last golden statue in the underworld.
Oh, wow.
Trapped in a metal shell, slowly losing his mind until the end of time.
He's stuck.
Eternal torment. Just what he deserves, if you ask me.
Correct. He did once tell me that he wanted to live forever.
Then I suppose he got his wish.
It was good
You
to see.
too. See you around.
She's less bitter these days. Nice get up too. Alright, what else we got? Georgius.
Greetings. You must be the legendary Oracle. It is a sincere privilege to finally make your acquaintance. I am Georgius.
Good to see you
I
too.
am told we have you to thank for freeing us from Hades, and for that I am most grateful.
So what are you doing with yourself these
I am
days?
reacquainting myself with Greece. It has changed so much over the last 2000 years, I barely recognize it. This is at once heartbreaking and thrilling. Perhaps one day, once I have seen all of this new Greece and sampled her delights, I will settle down in Santorini in a villa overlooking the Azure Aegean Sea. I hope you will join me there and regale me with the story of how you faced off against the fearsome god of the underworld and won.
Consider me there. Good to see you.
You too, my friend.
Fabia.
You're the one we've been waiting for. I'm Fabia.
I already know. Hi.
I wanted to say thanks for sending Galerius to save my life. I don't know how you knew, but I would have been crushed by that shrine for sure.
Oh, you did. You're welcome.
I'm just so happy to be here with you and everyone together again, even if it's just for one more night.
What are you gonna do with yourself?
Well, it's not like I have to work with all the silver Caron gave me, so I just do what makes me happy. Mostly that means baking for my friends and looking at memes while binging TV shows in
Memes?
yoga pants. What a time to be alive.
That's the ticket. Sounds like a life well spent.
Oh, it really is.
Good to see you.
You too.
You, the hermit philosopher, he made it out. Let's talk to the hermit. The old man.
I take it you're the oracle everybody's talking about. It's a pleasure to finally meet you.
We've met before, though. I wouldn't expect you to remember it.
We have. I'm sorry, I don't remember. In any case, I'm Philip. I never thought I'd leave that cave, let alone the city. And now I'm living in the 21st century. What a time to be alive. And it seems I have your catabasis to thank for it.
So what are you doing with
I'm
yourself?
working as a consultant to the Faculty of Classics at Cambridge University, helping fill the odd gap in their knowledge. Not that I need the money, but I do love being around enlightened minds again.
Oh, I know. Good to see you
My
again.
sincere thanks once again.
Some soiree, innit?
Oh, God, this guy. And look, he's still on the furniture. Of course he is. He said, screw the rules, as usual.
Oh, hello at last. You must be the oracle I've heard so much about. I'm Daisius.
Hi, Daisius.
Listen, I wanted to express my sincere appreciation for what you did. If it wasn't for you, I'd never been able to sell all those useless old relics I accumulated. Whatever you did in that temple made me a very wealthy man. Thank you.
It was unintended. You're welcome.
Most gracious of you.
What are you doing with
I
yourself?
took the money I made from selling my trinkets and started investing in the stock market. That's where the real money is now. In fact, I was hoping to ask your advice, you being the oracle and future seer and all that, on which stocks I should invest in next. I can't decide between fossil fuels, tobacco, gambling and arms. What would you recommend?
Oh, boy. I really can't really see the future, I'm afraid.
Oh, don't be like that. You can tell your old pal Dacius. I won't take no for an answer.
DVD rentals.
Oh, of course, yeah. I was just thinking the same thing. I'll go home and buy up as much stock as I can tonight. I'm gonna make a bloody fortune.
Yeah. Ooh, you're gonna be ruined. I'm going now.
Of course, don't let me keep you. Thanks again for the tips, my friend.
You,
Good evening.
Octavia, what's up? I remember you.
Oh, hello. It's
Old
lovely to
Pius.
meet you. I've heard so much about you.
Nice to meet you too.
I'm thankful that you're here. I was sure the person who drove off the last pagan god would have more important things to do than visit the likes of us. But thank you for coming and for saving our lives. What you did was extraordinary, and I'll never forget it.
So what are you doing?
I'm living in Rome again, in a charming little flat by the Tiber. Not far from my old place. Oh, and I'm training to be a crisis counselor. After you sent Galerius to persuade Ulpius not to take his own life, I was inspired. I just want to spend the rest of my life helping people, like you helped him.
Nice, she was inspired. Sounds like a noble cause. Good on you.
Thank you. That means a lot.
It was good to see
And
you.
you.
Hey, yeah, Olivia,
Greetings.
the peeler of the statues. Good to see you looking well, Olivia.
Thank you for your kind words and
Oh, that's not Olivia.
for liberating us all. In all
Wrong,
the time
Olivia.
I was in the underworld, I never once imagined that I might end up in a place so much like Elysium.
What are you doing with yourself?
I'm recovering. Octavia was kind enough to let me stay with her for a while, at least until I'm well enough to be independent again.
Any good poems lately?
You remember that. I'm a little tired of Ovid, but that's all right. I have 2,000 years worth of poetry to catch up on now. I'm already up to the 19th century, and am quite enjoying the work of a fellow named Poe.
Edgar.
I think I may have found a kindred spirit. Men have called me mad, but the question is not yet settled whether madness is or is not the loftiest intelligence.
Perhaps you're right. Good to see
And
you.
you. Farewell, friend.
Let's continue on down. So who else we got down this hallway? Kabash.
It is an honor to finally meet you, Oracle.
Thanks, Kabash.
You know my name? Oh, of course. You are an Oracle. You know many things. I too would like to offer my thanks for releasing us from that place and for your role in bringing us here. This world is truly wondrous.
What are you doing with yourself these days?
For a time, I returned to Alexandria, but they have no need of another fisherman, and I came to see there is nothing for me there. Instead, I have decided to follow the custom of your youths and backpack the world. It is a great adventure, and I have met many people from many cultures. I spent the first 25 years of my life avoiding the 42 sins that would deny me access to the afterlife. Now, I think it is time I had some fun.
You earned it.
Indeed.
Good to see you.
Thank you, Oracle.
Right, he knows what's up. That's your security. Anubis? Yes. Who we got here?
Hello there.
Hey, Scintilla. Hi.
Oh, I go by Gabriella now. I didn't want to be reminded of that monster every time I heard my own name.
There you go. Which monster?
You didn't hear? My adoptive father, Sentius, locked me up in the upper cistern.
Oh, I know
to
that.
stop me from escaping. After you drove Pluto off, Proserpina came and released me, and that monster got what was coming to him.
Got what he deserved. What are you doing with yourself
I'm
these
living
days?
with Ulpius on a little vineyard in Umbria. It's even more wonderful than I dreamed it would be. I'm so grateful to you for making sure he's still with us.
If you're ever passing through the region, I hope you'll come and visit us. You can try some of our very own wine.
I might just do that. Good to see you.
You too.
I was wondering why doesn't our character know what happened to her? Well, I know why, because we never did that quest on this save. Hey, Ulpius.
It's nice to finally put a face to the name. I'm Ulpius.
Good to see you.
I understand I have you to thank for sending Galerius to save my life. The way you just showed up out of the blue and stopped me from making a terrible mistake. I'll be forever in your debt.
What are you doing?
I'm living with Gabriella in Umbria. We finally bought the little vineyard we always dreamed of.
Yes, these two like each
It'll
other.
be a little while before we know what we're doing, but every day I look at her and this extraordinary new world with all its beauty, and I think, what if I'd given up hope and missed out on all of this? So we're living each day to the fullest. And we end them all the same way, sitting together on our terrace with a glass of our wine, which the locals say is almost drinkable now, and watching the sunset over the rolling hillside. And I couldn't be happier.
Glad you
Thank you. I wouldn't be here without you.
Good to see you.
Too.
Nice. Let's talk to these dudes, man. Virgil.
You're back.
So I talked to him already, but of course my system shut down, so we're going to do it over. So what are you doing with yourself these days?
I'm studying to be an architect again and living with Rufus in our beautiful flat in Rotterdam, just down the river from Nijmegen, where I grew up. Of course, it's improved immensely since I was there last. Gleaming futuristic buildings and clean streets full of educated, accepting people. You natives of the 21st century have no idea how fortunate you are.
We take everything for granted. It's good to see you again.
You too. As Rufus said in his own laconic way, if you're ever in the Netherlands, we'd love to show you around. It's the least we could do.
May take you up on that. Hey, Rufus. A much calmer Rufus.
You're back. Hi.
Yes, I am. We're going to talk all over again. What are you doing with yourself these days?
I live with Virgil in Rotterdam, not far from where he grew up. It's very modern. Destroyed in the war, and it rebuilt itself. Good place for a fresh start. Haven't decided what I'm going to do with my life yet. One adjustment at a time.
So it turns out you were right. The statues really were watching us.
Good to know. Anyway, it was good practice for the new world. Security cameras and smartphones everywhere. Got to stay vigilant.
Don't worry, you'll get used to it. It's good to see you again.
You too. Look us up next time you're in the Netherlands. We're grateful.
All right. Those two seem to be living happily. And here we are, right here. We're going to take a look at a few of these exhibits before we talk to Al up there. So let's start by looking at a few of these. What's that? The Greek plaque is here. Hades, Lord of Many. I'm just going to look over stuff that we didn't see during the game. Like these statues. This one we didn't see. Statue of Lamassu. Interesting. We're hearing a lot of voices up there. Let's see what's over here. Weapons. Okay, everything else doesn't really have any descriptions except for this, the Egyptian plan. Then many shall suffer for the sins of the one. We now know what that meant. Let's go on in here and have a chat. The owl. Hello.
There you are. I hope you enjoyed that.
I did.
There's one more person I wanted to introduce you to. I think you know her.
Who's that? Oh.
Sorry if I frightened you. Just a little joke I've been saving for a long, long time.
Even Proserpina has jokes. I recognize that voice.
Allow me to introduce myself properly. I am Proserpina, former goddess of the cycle of life and renewal, and now a regular mortal. I wanted to meet you in person, and thank you for freeing all these people, and me. I hate to think what would have happened to us without your intervention.
So you were whispering to me all along.
Indeed. Suffice it to say that while Pluto was controlling the eyes and ears of each golden statue, I was able to control their tongues and whisper to you when he was distracted. I am sorry my messages were so cryptic. There were only ever brief windows in which I could speak to you without being detected.
You did what you could. Thank you. You created the time loop?
I did. I may have given up my immortality, but I still retain my gifts as the goddess of the cycle of life and renewal. After witnessing Pluto punish countless poor souls over thousands of years, I knew this generation, the final wave, would not survive. So I tried to give them a way to buy more time. A second chance. Rather, as many second chances as they needed to avoid his wrath. So I whispered to Sentius in secret, telling him the prayer required to create a portal in my shrine. I knew the danger of humans being corrupted by godly power, and so I put a safeguard in place. I required the creator of the portal to sacrifice their own life, so that it could only be used selflessly to help others.
And this is why when we followed
that Sentius would retain his accumulated memories from each previous day, and as a veteran soldier he had long since shed his fear of death. He quickly discovered that he could, in effect, prolong his own life indefinitely by exploiting the cycle. Of course, once I had taught him the prayer, I could not unteach him, and there was little I could do but wait for someone like you to come along and see him for what he was. We are all fortunate you came along when you did.
Nice. So that explains why whenever you chased down Sentius, when the time loop got created, he would whisper something, a prayer or whatever, and then he would die. That just explained why that occurred. So it makes sense now. What became of Pluto?
I don't know what happened to him. I haven't heard from him, and I rather hope it stays that way.
And what became of Karen?
Oh, she inherited dominion over the underworld. Last time we spoke, she was working on a new world of some kind. She wouldn't say what it was, but I'd be surprised if you don't run into her again. I imagine we all will, one day.
So that day is far away. It was nice meeting you.
And you, although it feels like I've known you forever. Oh, and one last thing. Do you remember all those golden statues scattered throughout the city?
Yes. And this is where my system shut down at. So here we go, of course.
Good. Because they remember you. Well done, my friend.
Yes!
Of all the heroes who ever journeyed to the underworld and returned,
all those statues.
No one came close to achieving what you did. Hercules, Orpheus, Theseus, and Aeneas would be proud.
Nice. We got the canon ending. Ending 4 of 4. This is the ending that the game goes by officially. Good shite. We did it. We got the ending. This is the best ending right here. And this ending definitely left you more fulfilled because it gave you insight as to what happened to each of the characters that we met in the Forgotten City. And we now know that they're among us in the 21st century living out their lives. They were given a second chance by Proserpina, which is nice. And we got that ending. Gonna tap escape. And there are the credits. Once again, We did it. We did it. Yay. And we're going to tap the credits again. Good stuff. A message from the developers. We hope you enjoyed The Forgotten City. We'd love to make even better games in the future. And you can help us out by recommending The Forgotten City to a friend or writing a review. The more people play our games, the more we can level up. I agree. I hope these guys do make another game because this was very engrossing. This game was very... You can immerse yourself into this world. And if they make more story-driven games like this going forward, I am all for them in their success. So I hope more people get to know this game. And I will write a review myself and give it a nice little rating. It is sitting at a nice rating on Steam so far, overwhelmingly positive. So that's good. And if you'd like to be the first to know when we announce our next project, please connect with us here on either Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, or via email. Good stuff. I'm sure I'll follow. And there you have it, The Forgotten City, ending number 4, the real ending, the canon ending. And I'll catch you guys with more footage. I think we have at least one more ending to get. So I'll catch you there. Feel free to hit that like button, comment as I enjoy reading those. And if you're really feeling daring, hit that subscribe button for more.